I haven't been very well. But
Won it Rona?
I don't know. That's stiff. Might have been
Ooh!
Rona.
Oh.
Today we are going to be doing, because we're coming to the end of yet another eventful Premier League
Premier
season.
League season.
Another eventful Premier League season if you're a Manchester United fan, Arsenal or Man City fan. Uneventful if you're in the
It's
bottom
still
three.
interesting. It's not uneventful. I think this is one of the most competitive bottom half.
Manchester United, the team that I support. Today, I didn't actually know this. Today, it is the last day of the third round of bids to take over Manchester United. It says here 1 hour to go. At the moment, Sir Jim Ratcliffe seems to be falling behind, and it seems that the Qatar owners seem to be looking like this. It's either going to be Qatar or the Glazers still. Glazers, personally, from the bottom of my heart, sod off.
Fuck off.
Alright? Sod off.
So, shall we do this in order of, like, the current table?
Yeah, obviously, so we start with Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal...
Bearing in mind, everyone, this is on the 28th.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, right, Arsenal, if you're an Arsenal fan, what the fuck's gone on with your club? Seriously, what the fuck has gone wrong with your club? The last 4 games, you've failed to pick up 12 points. You know, you've come...
How many points have they got in the last 4 games?
3. 3 points.
That's quite embarrassing.
3 points.
Or is that from 1 win in the last 4?
They haven't won a win. They haven't won a game in. They haven't won a game in the last 4.
They've drawn 3.
They've drawn
the last 4.
They've drawn 3. Yeah, they've drawn 3.
And then they lost to Man City.
Mm.
We know about that one.
Yeah, we know about that one. I mean, that was embarrassing. I mean, you know, when you're in the title fight between yourselves and Manchester City or any other club, and you get battered by that many goals.
Do you think Arsenal will have a Haaland as their Aguero?
Possibly. Personally, as well, with Arsenal, right? I'm just saying it now, right? Arsenal.
Or do you think it'll be one of these? De Bruyne!
It could go anyway, but bearing in mind,
Instead of Aguero.
Man City have got 2 game in hands over Arsenal.
That's quite bad.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I think they've won it, you know.
If Arsenal don't win the Premier League now, they might not get another chance.
Do you know what I do like
this?
The fact the Arsenal fan TV memes will be golden if they bottle it.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, before.
Who's that useless defender that they have? That literally like let Man City through on every attack they had.
Well, the 4 fullbacks that I know that Arsenal keep playing is Ben White, Gabriel, Zinchenko. Oh god, what's the other one?
I'm not talking about Salabia or Talbia or whatever his name is.
Squad.
God, who am I thinking of? You carry on. I'll find it and I'll get to it.
Rob Holding.
Holding, that's his name. He could not, and I mean this, he could not hold on to his defender to save his life.
Arsenal's last win was against Leeds on the 1st of April.
But do you know what does make it funny?
What?
Holding pretty much gave them
well, the Holding did score their only goal for him in that game. So
I better save my career mode before I go any further.
So Arsenal, if you do not win this season, let's just be honest. You might not get a better chance to win it ever again. Well, I'm not saying you're not going to win it ever again, but you're not going to get an easier chance.
Not for the next, because there's going to be a few years with it being just like Man City.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we cut to Man City. Well, the opposite of Arsenal. I mean, you know, let's get one thing straight. Erling Haaland, stop what you're doing right now. Okay, you are breaking the football records. Okay, you've managed to gain a 12-point. Well, it was from 12 points, and it's now down to 2 points. And with 2 game in hands, you know, you're in a Champions League semi-final. You're in an FA Cup final. Haaland's scored like 40 goals this season in all competition.
Can I just say, just a message to Haaland, alright?
Where do you want to stop?
Look, you like our team, so I mean this in the least disrespectful way possible.
let Leeds
But
win.
chill the fuck out. Give someone else on your team a chance to score. Bloody hell.
Do you think Manchester City? Do you think Man City will do the treble?
Oh yeah, easy.
For my personal sake, hopefully not, because
Oh, I'd rather them not, but they
obviously,
will.
obviously, Man City have got my team in the final, FA Cup final, Man United. Um, they're in the Champions League semi-final against Real
I'll be right
Madrid.
back.
He's got to go for a minute. I don't know what the fuck that is about, but probably have to
Just
go
off
in.
the toilet.
Right, okay. The reason why he said that is because he thought I was going to say something else. I'm not going to say where it is, because he knows, but, yeah. So, with that being said, go away notifications. I could not give two shits. Sorry. Right. I'm just looking through the Premier League table at this point because the Premier League is so interesting this year. It is unbelievable. You know, with the way Arsenal have bottled it, Man City are now on a plus 53 goal difference. We'll get on to Newcastle United in a minute. I mean, like, you can say everything positive about Man City. You know, they are now favourites to win the Premier League title. You know, they're about to do the hat tricks of Premier League titles. For the first time since Manchester United did it from 2007 to 2009. So I know they always say records are there to be broken, but it is so annoying that how Manchester City have gone from a banter club from like the 90s when they were like near the relegation to now one of the best teams in the world. It's a bit of a disgrace. I mean, if you're a Man City fan, you'd be loving life. You know, shutting myself like as a Man United fan up. Because obviously 15 years ago, we were doing that to you. So, you know, I mean, look at them stats by the way on FIFA. 85 attacking, 87 midfielding, but let's be honest, the reason why it's like that because of Kevin De Bruyne, and 83 defending, that's quite shit. That's probably why you've been not as comfortable as you have been this season. I mean, Man City have got the most points at home. You know, 43. 43 points at home. And away they've got 30 points, which is the second best. Which is kind of a joke, if you ask me. Because with the way Man City play, they press you. Well, I mean, actually, I'm not surprised. Actually, Man City have got so many points and so many goals. You know, they're on plus 53. They've only conceded 29 goals this year in the Premier League. Scored 82. Let's get that thing straight. 82 goals in the Premier League this year. And they've got 2 game in hands over Arsenal. And we've got 2 game in hands against Tottenham. And, well, Man United, in my case, in fact, no, fuck it. We'll get on with Manchester United after Newcastle United. When AJ gets back. Because, holy shit, he's been gone for quite some time. So, just bear with me a minute. I'm actually going to text him. Because I can't even spell. Okay. If he comes back with a, there we go. I was waiting for that. I just, you know. How the hell did you see? I haven't even seen it yet. Oh, it's probably come through on your bloody notification shit. But Anyway, I was just talking about how dominant Man City have been. You know, scoring 82 goals, only conceding 29 goals this year. I mean, sorry, uh, I can't fault anything with Manchester City apart from the fact, as a Manchester United fan, fuck you. But yeah, I can't fault Man City. You know, 10, 15 years ago, we were doing it to you. So you know, that's revenge. Karma's a bitch, but there we go.
Yeah.
So now we're on about the surprising package, but at the same time not so surprising package. Newcastle United. Uh, again, where the fuck have you got these performances from? I get it, you know, new takeover, Saudi Arabia, rich club, rich owners, you know, rich country and shit. So that's probably one of it. And you've brought in good players like Isaac. Who else has there been? Almiron. You know, Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier. You know, your top goal, Saint Maxim, don't forget him. Um, you know, Longstaff. You know, I mean, you got a good set of young, good players in that Newcastle team, and that's why Newcastle United are in the Champions League next year, because with the way you've been performing, I mean, you've got a 32 plus goal difference, scoring 58 goals, conceding 26. You've picked up 32 points at home and 30 points away. Um, Newcastle, well, at Christmas time, you had you had that bit of struggleness. You know, you drew to Arsenal, you drew to Leeds. You know, you drew to us, Man
Oi.
United. You drew to Man United, so you wasn't doing particularly well in December. But back in the January, beginning of February, you know, you did. You're now back where you are, and you're now third place, 11 points from City. I'm not saying you're going to catch City, because City have still got 2 games in hand well, 1 game in hand over you, but uh, you're not going to catch City. You're going to finish third or fourth, but you're not going to catch City because City are too good. They are 2 games in hand from Arsenal, so that's first thing. So, and second thing is, well, there's no second thing. Well, not Arsenal, I'm sorry, Man City are just 2 games in hands over you, so you're not going to finish second, but you're going to be finishing third. And now I'm just going to have a drink in a minute, so pretty much I can't say much about Newcastle United, but good luck in the Champions League next year.
Because you're gonna fucking need it.
Yes,
I would,
because
I would like to add.
yeah, because I'm not saying you're a bad team this year, because you're absolutely stormed this year. I'm not going to lie, them very well from where you were last year. But if I know you're my team of the season, yeah, because with the way Newcastle United are last year compared to this year under Eddie Howe, you've done brilliant. So I'm just saying you're not good enough to be in the I mean, clearly you're good enough to be in the top four this year, but when it comes to the Champions League next year, and you play, and if you've got a group containing Real Madrid, PSG, and like Bayern Munich, good fucking luck, because
Because you're gonna need it.
you're gonna need it. I mean, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go and win. Go and win your group. Prove me wrong, and I'll apologise. But I'll
Yeah,
come
win
back.
the group.
Yeah,
But
win the
even
group.
if they survive the group, as soon as they get to like, if they get lucky enough not to get, you know, like some Man City and whoever else to start with, they're gonna get them.
They're gonna get them in the knockout stages.
Exactly.
So Newcastle, congratulations. Good luck for next year, because next year we're coming after you
You'll need it.
As a Man United fan. Speaking of Man United, next up is my club, Manchester United. Personally, as a Man United fan, we've done bloody well this year. I mean,
Yeah, this year you have.
compared to last year, you know, finishing on 58 points. Currently, with what 7 games to go, we're on 60 points. That's already 2 points better than last year already, and we're not even in bloody May yet. Um, we've already won a trophy, Carabao Cup. All right, it's not a big trophy, but it is a trophy still.
It's a
But
trophy.
we're currently in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. We're coming after you, City, and You know, Rashford's been supreme this
He's
year.
been quite impressive, I will admit.
Rashford's been amazing this year. Casemiro, he's been alright, apart from the bloody red cards he's got. Fernandez, again, media. He can have some good games, he can have some bad games. Um, I think it's best not to say Maguire. I think it's best to skip him. De Gea, again, he's had a very good. Pretty much Manchester United have had an average season, I say, personally. Manchester United, you know,
I could agree to that. I could agree with that.
um, we've definitely improved compared to last year. Getting knocked out in the FA Cup fourth round by Middlesbrough last year.
A little bit embarrassing.
Getting knocked out by West Ham in the third round of the Carabao Cup last year, and finishing 10 points off the Champions League last year. This year, in the Carabao Cup, we've won the Carabao Cup. We're in the FA Cup final. We're looking good for top four. So, Eric Ten Hag, pretty much, next year will be the crucial year for Eric, I reckon. Next year will be crucial for Eric. Next year will prove if Eric Ten Hag can actually lead this team to what we used to be, unstoppable. But without further, I'm pretty much going to rant now about for the next 10 minutes. But I'm joking, by the way, because we've got another 15 to do here. So pretty much, Man United, well done this year. We're back in the Champions League next year if we win our next two games. So if we beat who do we have? If we beat Villa, who are sixth, which could be a difficult game, but we'll get on to Villa in a minute. So pretty much Manchester United, we're 6 points ahead of Tottenham. Again, we'll get on with Spurs in a minute because boy, I want to talk about Spurs. And
I think everyone does at this point.
yeah, pretty much everybody does. And so it's looking good. I mean, we've still got another. We've got 2 game in hands over Spurs, so it is looking good. So we'll just see what happens on the 27th of May, which is just under 4 weeks from now. So you know, you can never say never, really. You can never say. I mean,
You just said it.
I mean, Manchester United have known to be a bit of a bottle job club over the last few years. I'm not going to lie. Being yesterday, I mean, if you saw the game yesterday, it proved it. So I got to admit that was a very appalling second half for us. But again, I'll talk about that later. So next up is a club who, for the last 2 games against us and recently Newcastle, have not been great, to say the least, and that's Tottenham. Let me just get.
Oh boy, where do we start?
Let me just get with Spurs here. Right there, Spurs. I mean, you haven't got a manager. You haven't got a sporting director.
You've sacked your interim manager.
You've sacked your interim manager. You've now got a manager
Which
who...
says something. If you can't even keep hold of an interim manager, something has got to change.
I mean, you've now got a manager who has not managed in his life, but still manages to draw to us. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. Spurs, obviously, in your last 2 games, you've conceded 7 goals and only scored 3 times. Harry Kane, it's looking more likely than ever that he is leaving at the end of the season. There is 3 clubs that are interested in him. One is Bayern Munich, the other is Madrid, and the other one is my team, Manchester United. Even Kane says he wants to stay in England, but if the offers are big in Spain and Germany, I've got a sneak off that he'll accept them and not come to Man United. Now we have been targeting Kane for about 3 or 4 years now. We've been looking at him, and this year looks more likely than ever.
Wait, because he wants to leave, but he wants to stay in the country.
He wants to leave. He wants to stay in England. And another club that's also kind of snuck into the race is Chelsea. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why when we get to Chelsea. Because it won't please Spurs fans for two reasons. Um,
It's a
but
derby, isn't it?
not just that, but one of their former managers could be their new boss.
Oh,
Uh,
actually, no, I'll tell you when we get to Leeds, actually.
so
My
we,
dad had a really good idea, and I completely agree with him.
you'll be waiting a long bloody time because I'm just saying Leeds are 16th. But
Yes, I know, we've got a problem, I know.
so yeah, I'll let AJ talk about Leeds because obviously he's a Leeds United man through
But
and
we're
through,
nowhere near
innit?
there yet.
No, so thankfully AJ doesn't have to go, so we can
Yeah, because I'm usually, like, getting
yeah.
ready to get off now.
Yeah, so we can take it a bit more easy. I mean, if this was yesterday, boy, we'd have to fly through these by now. But
You know, if this was yesterday, we'd have probably left it till tomorrow.
yeah, pretty much. Um, so Spurs, well done against us yesterday. You did very well in that second half. We played shit. Um, it was a bad idea to sub off Rashford and Sancho and Anthony. Casemiro was dreadful. Fernandes was just appalling. Um, So you deserve to draw us. In fact, I think you maybe deserve to win that game because in that second half we were just absolutely appalling. That first half we were 2-0 up. We scored one goal after 7 minutes, and then we were 2-0 up after 44 minutes. Sancho and Rashford scored, and we subbed them off. And since we got there, since we subbed them off, we were just diabolical. So you deserve to draw that game. So yes, I'm embarrassed because obviously what Newcastle did to you last weekend on Sunday.
That's quite funny.
After you were 5-0 down after 20 minutes over Newcastle.
That thrashing was funny, I won't lie.
Spurs. Here's a good question for you. I'm going to leave this to you. When will you win a fucking trophy? Um,
The
and, and, uh,
under-17s have won a trophy more recently than the main team.
when you have not the last time you were close to
When your
winning a
first men's team wins a trophy, that's the
the,
day Leeds win the Champions League.
the last time
Because it's not going to happen
the
anytime
last
soon.
time the last time Spurs got close to winning the trophy was the 2019 Champions League final, and they lost to Liverpool 2-0. Since then, you've been nowhere near. I'm surprised Spurs got that far. I'm surprised Spurs got to the final, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. So Spurs, when you win a trophy, if you do win a trophy before me and AJ pass away, uh, um, put your finger out your ass because Spurs, you're going to be in the Europa League this year. Looking at this, because
Somehow.
again, because Manchester United. I'm not saying this because you're a banter club. Well, technically you are, but at the same time, you do have history. You have won you have won the FA Cup twice, or maybe three more. I don't know, but you have won trophies, but not for a very long time. We've got two. We've got
Somehow.
like I said, we've got two game in hands over you, and that's Brighton and Chelsea. So we've got two game in hands over you. You are currently you've got no game in hands. So we've got two. So it is looking unlikely that you will be in the Champions League next year, and we'll be taking that spot. Um, Hey, Europa League ain't about little league. You might win it because I do think Spurs might be strong to win the Europa League next year. But if Kane does go in the summer, you will struggle. I'm just saying now. If Kane, Kane is looking likely more than ever to leave Spurs now. If you do get rid of Kane, you are going to struggle. You need a replacement, and you need it quick. When you get rid of him, because he has carried you for how many years now?
Too many.
Too many years. And to be fair to him, he's got sick and tired of doing that, and I don't blame him. So you need to find a replacement, because you're gonna struggle. I need another drink again.
100%.
I need a drink again. My mouth is so dry. Right. Next up is a club that, again, has surprised me since, when Steven Gerrard got sacked in November. You were 4 points or something like that from relegation. Since Unai Emery has took over, he has played 19 matches as Villa boss, and he's won 12 of them. And that team is Aston Villa. Aston Villa, you at this rate I'm not saying you're gonna go into Europe because you've still got Liverpool and Brighton on you. But again, we'll talk about Liverpool again and how diabolical you have been this year. Talk about us having a shit year last year. Karma, karma, right there. But you. But again, we'll talk about Liverpool in a minute. Aston Villa, just like Newcastle. Where the hell have you got these results from? Um, Again, since Unai took over back in November, um, he's played 19 games as boss, and you've won 12 of them. You might win again against. Well, actually, Villa, your next game is us on Sunday. It's not the game in hand game. It's a general Premier League game. You've got us on Sunday. You beat us 3-1, fair and square. Again, we were diabolical that day. So hopefully, as a Man United fan, we'll get revenge on you on Sunday, and hopefully extend our advantage over Spurs. Um, but again, you got to look at the players that they've got: Ollie Watkins, Jacob Ramsey, Leon Bailey. You know, I mean, they used to have Danny Ings, but he's gone now. Martinez, the Argentinian World Cup winning goalkeeper. Ashley Young, former Man United player. Tyrone Mings. I did think when you got rid of Jack Grealish 2 years ago, the summer of 2021, I thought you were going to go down. To be fair, well, I didn't think you were going to go down, but I think you were going to be round there. Because Jack Grealish, just like Harry Kane, he was your main man. And now Grealish is gone. He's done sod all for City. Just like a certain other player that AJ knows very well that used to play for him. But again, that's not really his fault because it's what Pep's done with him and deciding not to play him.
It's Pep's
But
fault. I'm really annoyed with that.
again, we'll get on. We'll get on with Leeds in a minute. So pretty much Villa. If you keep winning the way you are, you will possibly go into the Conference League. Again, I'll tell you why you're not going to get Europa League. Because the next team that we're going to talk about is Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, the first 5 games of the season, first 5 or no, pretty much half the season, you were shit. You know, you lost to us. All right, okay. I'm just gonna say it now to get everyone done with. Yes, you thrashed us. All right, you thrashed us at Anfield, and you know it was 1-0 at half time, and then all of a sudden you score 6 goals past us in the second half. We fell asleep. We did not look like a team that wanted to play like that day at all. I think half our players went to bed when that 7th goal went in. We just packed up and back to Manchester. You've won 3 games in a row now. You've beaten Forest, you've beaten West Ham, and you've beaten somebody else. I don't know who you've beaten, but you've beaten them too. Salah has been. Well, I'm not saying Salah's been poor. Salah's not had the season that he normally has. Darwin Núñez, well, he's just, well, I'm not saying he's a flop now because he has scored goals, but he's not been scoring goals as much as I want him to do. You know, and then you got Cody Gakpo, who I've never seen. We were going to sign him in January, but then Liverpool nicked him. It was kind of a Daniel James moment back in January of 2019. Again, Leeds United fans wouldn't know why. So that was a bit of annoying because we would have liked to get him. Because, well, at the time we didn't have a left mid because Garnacho was injured, Rashford was playing up front, Martial was injured, so we didn't have a good enough left winger. So we had to struggle for the first few days of January, but Rashford came back, scored loads of goals. Garnacho came back. Oh yeah, by the way, Garnacho has. I should have said this when we were on Man United. Garnacho signed a new deal. He is there now until 2028. So our young talent, Garnacho, the Argentinian, has stayed at Manchester United for at least another 5 years. So that's good to see. But with Liverpool, Milner needs to go. He's too old. Henderson needs to go. He's too old. Van Dijk, he's approaching his time. I think he's 29, 30 or something. Cavalier, you brought him from the summer from Fulham. He's going already because you've not hardly played him. So he wants out, and Jurgen Klopp's happy with him to go, so he's going. So personally, Liverpool, you're not going to get Champions League football. The best you can do is Europa League. Fun fact: this will be if Liverpool do not reach the Champions League, which you can still potentially do, because with 6 games to go, they're 6 points behind. Sorry, they're 7 points behind Man United. But if you do not reach, but again, we have got a game in hand over you. So, because you've played 32, we've played 31. So we've got a game in hand over you. So if we win our game in hand, goodbye to your top 4 hopes, pretty much. And it'll be the first time Liverpool will not be in the Champions League. Get ready for this. 2015. That was the last time Liverpool was not in the Champions League. 16 Champions League, 17 Champions League, 18 Champions League, 19 Champions League, 20, 21 and 22 and 23 Champions League. So it's been 8 years since they were last time in the Europa League. Which says a lot really about what Jurgen Klopp has done at Liverpool. I'm not gonna lie, Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers in the Premier League. It's just not been their season. It's like Manchester United, you know, we're one of the greatest clubs in the world. Always have been, always will be, with the history that we've done. And last year was just a complete and utter mess for us. This year, it's kind of role reversed, because you have not won a single trophy this year, and you're not going to make it into the top 4. And if you do make it into the top 4 this year, in fact, I'm that confident that you're not going to make it into the top 4, but if you do make it inside of the top 4, I'm so confident, if you do make it inside the top fucking 4, I'm telling you now, I will come back here and say good things about you, because I tell you now, right, with Man United and Liverpool's rivalry, I fucking hate you. But, to be fair, Liverpool's last 3 games, well, let's be honest, you were lucky against West Ham. You were very lucky. You know, you scored, I think, in the 92nd minute to win it against West Ham after being 1-0 down. So, you were very lucky to win that. But hey, goals win games, and you know you won that game, so I can't say anything about it. So, Liverpool, I do think. Do you think Liverpool will be back next year? Back where they need to be, top 4?
It's questionable.
Oh, I heard that. You heard it here first. Questionable. He didn't even say. He's not even comfortable that Liverpool are going to make it inside the top 4 this year. Well, next year, should I say?
Well, if we're talking about the 23-24 season, I think it all depends on how they finish this season.
Well, Salah hasn't been great.
Salah has to book his ideas up. I
yes. So if Salah does play like he normally does, right? For example, the season you won the Premier League back in 2020, and last season when you was only 1 point from the title, I know how it feels. It happened to us 11 years ago, so I know how it feels. Fucking Aguero. But
Aguero! That one.
Yes, that. Thanks. Cheers, Martin. Tyler, for crushing my dreams as a 6-year-old kid. But hey, next season we got our revenge and won our last Premier League title today. But yeah, it's been 10 years now since Manchester United last won the Premier League. So make it 11. So if Darwin books his ideas up next year, and Salah and Gakpo, because Firmino's leaving, it's been confirmed he wants to go, he's leaving. So if Gakpo, Darwin, and Salah book their ideas up, they'll be fine next year. Because obviously, getting rid of Sadio Mane last summer, that was a big hit. I still don't know why Sadio Mane left, but anyway, Bayern Munich just offered far too much for you to reject, probably. But so if them three book their ideas up, you'll probably be finishing fourth or third next year, maybe second, because again, Arsenal, next year they could. Arsenal, this could be like a one season thing. Next year they could finish back fifth or something. But anyway, next thing that has again surprised me. I'm not saying they're out of Europe, but after losing to Forest at the weekend, it's not looking pretty. You're 4 points now from Europe, 6 points. Sorry, 5 points from Europa League, and 11 points from Champions League. So if you get Champions League, Europa League is looking likely. Conference League, you could still do it because you've still got two. In fact, no, to be fair, you could still do it. You could still get Europa League, actually, to be fair, because you've got 2 game in hands over Liverpool and 3 game in hands over Aston Villa. So you've still got a chance to get the Conference League and Europa League, and that team is Brighton. Again, probably one of the worst teams I reckon in FIFA, but that's FIFA. Brighton and Hove Albion, the Seagulls, as you are called, plus 15 goals, just like Villa and Newcastle United. Where the fuck have you got these results from again? You barely lost to us in the FA Cup semi-final on penalties. You beat us on the opening day this season. That's the first time we've been beaten on the first game of the season since August 2015, when we lost. Oh no, sorry, August 2014 when we lost to Swansea 2-1. That's the first time we lost the opening game of the season. So again, records are there to be broken, and that was the first time Manchester United lost their first game. Oh no, sorry, what was I on about? We lost to Crystal Palace in 2020-2021, match day 1. We lost 3-1 to them. So actually, that's actually not that long ago, but. And then the following season we thrashed Leeds 5-1. But again, I had to say that. But, hang on. Brighton, you got Danny Welbeck, Adam Lallana, Marsh, this young Japanese guy, Mitamona or some other fucking name. He's fucking good.
Minotona or whatever his name is.
Minotoma, yeah, he was fucking good in that FA Cup semi-final.
He's incredible, isn't he?
You got Sanchez in goal again, very good goalkeeper. Definitely one for the future. Sanchez, Lamptey, a good-looking young right back, again good for the future. But you got Danny Welbeck and Adam Lallana. Them two have got Premier League history. They've got experience. Danny Welbeck winning the Premier League for Manchester United, Adam Lallana winning the Premier League for Liverpool. They've got history, so they've got experience. They know what they're on about. You've been good on set plays. You've been good. You've pretty much been good in corners as well. Actually, I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately, you losing to 3-1 to Forest, who are way down the order in the Premier League right now, is not very good. And to lose by 2 goals, losing by 3 goals to 1, isn't very great if you are chasing for Europe, especially the Conference League. Because Conference League for Brighton, that'd be very good for you. So I've got nothing to say about for Brighton, but keep up the good work and good luck for next year. Now next up is the team who AJ kinda hates because one of his former players now plays for him. And also the team that beat my team 4-0 in the second game this season. That is cause the Bees, Brentford. How the fuck have you done this, Brentford? Because I thought second season struggle just like Leeds, just like Sheffield United, just like Huddersfield. You know, second season misery, and you're still in the top 10. Alright, you got Ivan Toney, you got Wisser, you've got Jensen, you've got Nordgaard, Pontus Janssen. I had to say it.
They don't have him for anymore though.
Where's he gone? Is he
I
injured?
swear he left. No, he went back to his home country, I think.
Yeah, let me just check squad.
I swear he
Defense.
left.
No, he's still here.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh. Swear to God, I saw a news thing that said he'd left.
It might be going in the summer, if that's what you're thinking.
Maybe.
But Pontus Janssen, you've got David Rayner in goal, who's leaving. He doesn't want a new contract. We've been linked to him. I mean, it's kind of gone dead, but we were linked to him about 2 or 3 months ago to look for a backup keeper in case Dean Henderson wants to leave Manchester United. So we have 2 Spanish keepers at the club, David De Gea and David Rayner. So I personally, I'll accept David Rayner. He's a great goalkeeper. I mean, he did very well against us when we lost 4-0 to you. But then we beat you at Old Trafford 1-0. Alright, it was only 1-0, so technically on aggregate it was 4-1. But we were very lucky that game as well, actually, to beat you. Because again, first half we were great, second half we were shit. But I don't know why Manchester United in the second half this year we've just been woeful. But so Brentford, it's not looking good with you because Liverpool have got a game in hand over you, and you and Villa are on the same amount of games, 33 each. So it looks like you're not going to get Europe. But if you finish in the top 10, that is still a very good second year for you because last year you finished 13th. This year you've improved 9th at this rate. So keep up the good work, and you never know, next year you might have the Conference League. But Conference League, if you finish 9th this year or 8th, Conference League should be your goal next year. It should be, right? I reckon Conference League next year for Brentford should be their goal.
It should be, yeah, for next season, yeah. 100%.
If they finish in the top 10, then they should be. Now the next
They're what,
up,
9th at the moment?
yeah, they're 9th. Obviously we know the last 2 teams that have finished 9th, which is Sheffield United and Leeds, haven't
Go to shit the next season.
go to shit next year. So
And then the season after, they're in danger of being relegated.
yep. So next up is a team that we played in the FA Cup quarter-final, and all hell broke loose. Let's just say, with their manager Willian and Mitrovic. When I say Mitrovic, it's pretty obvious who I mean, and that's Fulham. Got promoted last year, won the championship last year. You're not going to get Europe this year. You're gonna finish in the top 10 probably because you are currently 6 points from Chelsea. So, by the way, if you saw a little black thing on the top left screen, it's because AJ's added his other account, which only means one reason: AJ's off on his Apex. But
yeah, because I want to finish the battle pass. The end of the season's coming up. I'm just gonna go grab a drink.
Okay, so by the way, if you don't know where Leeds United are currently, they're 16th. So we've got another 5 teams to do. 5 more teams to do. So Fulham, you're not going to get Europe, but again, if you finish at the top 10, which is looking likely, go for it. You got to push for Conference League because after we've done these 20 teams, we're halfway there now. Once we've done these 20 teams, I'll explain why the Conference League is so crucial for you and Brentford and Brighton. Because next year, if you haven't already know, if you don't already know what's going to happen next year with the Premier League, then I'll tell you. But I'll let AJ come back first, because this next team. I mean, first of all, before we go on to this next one, which is the most surprising team out of them all. In fact, no, I said there's after this one there's about 2 more. I think that's quite surprisingly low. Very surprisingly low, actually. Yeah, you haven't got Mitrovic now until, well, the last 2 games of the season. And we've got you last game of the season. We've got Fulham last game of the season at Old Trafford. So, I mean, well, I mean, to be fair, um, even though you haven't got Mitrovic, I mean, you've got Daniel James. I mean, he can. Well, I mean, we all know Daniel James. He's fast, but he can't shoot. But cannot shoot for his life. I mean, come on, Fulham. You've got Man City next. You're not going to beat them. You lost to Villa, only just 1-0. But again, ever since you lost Mitrovic, you've been struggling. You know, since Mitrovic got sent off, you've lost 3-2 to Brentford, you lost 3-0 to Arsenal, you lost to Bournemouth, you lost to West Ham, and you've lost to Villa. And you've got Man City and Liverpool coming up. So I would not like to be where you are right now, because with the way Liverpool are going and the way that Man City are going, it's not going to be a pretty ending for sure if you're a Fulham fan. But again, you never know. The Premier League this year has been so weird. Different results are coming everywhere. It's just been ridiculous. We're coming up to the relegation battle actually in a minute. We're coming up to 11th place now, which is the last Big Six team. I'll wait for AJ to come back actually. Where did he put that? Oh, that text message I did, he just put a stupid answer back in. In fact, I'm gonna do it again. See what he says. Then I'll just have to do, and I'll just put that in just to make it less annoying. Although to be fair, he'll find it still annoying, but you know, the hell. No, it's just, what do you do when you wait for somebody to come back? I mean, how difficult? I mean, how long does it take? How long does it take to get a drink?
Takes as long as it fucking takes.
Holy shit! That's good.
I was getting a new drink, so I was reading the bottle.
Do you want to give me a fucking heart attack?
Not really.
Okay, good. Right,
Not
so
yet, anyway.
right, 11th place. We're coming up to Leeds now, in a minute. 11th place. The most stupidest season I think you could ever have wished. Like I said, it's the last Big Six team. And that goes to Chelsea.
Okay.
Again, Chelsea. What the fuck's gone wrong? I mean, you're not going to get into Europe. You're kind of in the relegation battle. You really are. Because you're only 10 points from Leicester. And we've got 6
Can I
games
play a really quick meme that I thought was quite funny?
Go on.
It's just one, and it's like 5 seconds. Thank you.
Best thing about being isolated is spending
I don't... Hang on. It crashed.
time with the best thing about being isolated is spending quality time with the kids.
Oh, I've seen that before. There was one of them saying, the one thing I love about lockdown is spending time with my kids, and then she went, "Mom, shut the fuck
Dad.
up! I'm doing
Yeah,
TikTok." That one, yeah, I've seen that one plenty of times. Yeah, Chelsea.
yeah.
I mean, first of all, can we just start with the impact? I mean, because AJ.
Demand! Stop putting my seat heater on. Oh, now we're in trouble.
Seriously?
One more.
Hammer! You moron!
There you go.
You done? You good? You finished?
Yeah.
Good.
I just
Right.
needed a dose for them.
Let's just start with Chelsea. You lost 3-0 to Leeds at Ellen Road after what, match day 4? No, match day 3. All right, you did beat them at Stamford Bridge. What was it, 1-0 or something?
What, when we beat Chelsea?
No, when you lost to Chelsea.
Oh, it was 1-0, yeah.
Yeah, 1-0. I mean, you only beat them by 1 goal. That's the
No,
only
we
thing-
lost to them 1-0, we beat them 3-0.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
On aggregate against Chelsea for this season, it's 2-1 to us.
3-1 because you beat them 3-0.
Oh yeah, 3-1, shit.
So,
Yeah.
Oh god, he's a Leeds United player, doesn't he? He don't bloody score.
I was thinking about something else.
2-1. Anyway, yeah, Chelsea. You're 10 points from relegation. You're not out of it.
I know we're not out of it, we're a mile from being out of it.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying Chelsea.
Ah.
You're 10 points from safe. Well, you're 10 points from relegation with 6 games to go. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you're fine because with only 6 games to go, you can only get what 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, actually, no, wait, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 points. You're 10 points.
They're not
You're
going
not.
to win all the games.
You're not going to win all the games now. You're not going to go down. But I say if you do go down, which you're not, because even though you're shit, you still got some good players. Mount, Pulisic, Aubameyang, Sterling.
Aubameyang's been shit this season, just saying.
Yeah, he has. I've not really seen him play. Maybe because of injury, I don't fucking know. Havertz.
I've seen him play, he's been crap.
Havertz. Reece
Havertz,
James.
yeah.
Reece James. You got
Whoever that
Mendy.
goalkeeper is now.
Mendy. Kepa.
I wouldn't
whatever.
say Mendy was good, especially what he did against us at the start of the season.
I mean, yeah, that was just a gift and a play, was that one? But
Literally, that was the only reason. I think that was the only reason we won that game.
yeah, pretty much. Because after that first goal, you just fell apart.
It just
Chelsea.
went to shit for them.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Koulibaly got sent off in that game after being 3-0 down.
Isn't there a thing somewhere, Matt Goldbridge singing about Koulibaly?
Yeah, because we were linked to signing him, but again, Chelsea, fuck you, nicked him.
Yeah, he was singing about something, wasn't he?
Yes. So I got nothing to say Chelsea apart from. But no, Chelsea. I was gonna say Harry Kane. I was that Harry Kane, Chelsea. The reason why Chelsea are linked to signing Harry Kane this summer.
Money.
Who remembers Pochettino at Tottenham? You know.
Yeah.
He's going to Chelsea this year. At the end of the season, he's the next Chelsea boss.
Oh yeah, that's point. Speaking of Chelsea, my dad had the idea of instead of Garcia, because we're not a massive fan of him to be honest.
Sending to Leeds.
Graham Potter
Send to Chelsea.
as Leeds manager.
Actually, yeah, that's actually not too bad.
It's actually a good idea. Like, I was a bit sceptical at first. I think Potter would do miracles for us. A miracle that Garcia just can't do.
Again, we'll cut to why Leeds United are so shit right now after having that one amazing season, and then just plunk gone.
An amazing start to this season as well, by the way.
Well, yeah, they played 5 games. Out of them 5 games,
think
they got 7 points or something, 7 or 8 points.
Yeah,
so.
we did. Yeah, we were in the top 5 for a decent amount of this season.
All right. It was only, yes, it's only 5 games, but for Leeds standards, that's pretty good for them.
Like,
But
exactly, like we don't get much. Like,
well, last time Leeds
I'm
won the
surprised
Premier.
we even spent that long.
Last time Leeds won the Premier was '92. So it's gonna be a long time since you're gonna win the Premier League again. But again, Chelsea. Even though you got good players, You're like us from last year. You're inconsistent.
What shit?
You lost to Brentford. Alright, we did, but you lost to Brentford.
Brentford.
Not once, but twice.
Brentford.
You've lost to Brentford as well.
Yeah, but Brentford.
Lost 2-0 to Brentford at Stamford Bridge. That is kind of embarrassing. In fact, it's not embarrassing. It's appalling. If I was a Chelsea fan right now, oh boy, I'd be fuming. In fact, I'd be more than fuming. I don't want to. I don't want to support Chelsea if I was you. But again, next year, you're not going to be in Europe. Not the Champions League, not Europa League, not the Conference League. For the first time in your history, I think, well, as long as I've been living, you're not going to be in Europe. So,
Would you count the Conference League as Europe though?
kind of. I mean, it's full of shit teams, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the small teams. But even Villarreal, you know, they were in the Conference League this year. Yes, we lost to them, and now they're in the Conference League. Shut up. That's when Villarreal. That was when Villarreal were good. No shit, no. Next up is a revised, as I say, team. Under Patrick Vieira, you were shit. Not won a game in 2023 until Roy Hudson came. Crystal Palace. When Roy Hudson took charge, you won your first three. You beat Wolves. You beat Leeds. Not just beat Leeds. You thrashed Leeds. Sorry, but they did.
I did, I know.
Were you 1-0 up?
Against who?
Palace.
Yeah.
That's even worse than Leeds.
We
They
went
were
1-0 up after 9 minutes. And then from there it just went to shit.
And then you beat somebody else, and then today, not today, but recently you lost the game. That was the first lose under Roy Hudson. Again, you should be fine. Actually, I don't know. I think you need to win one more game. I think. Yeah, because Leicester 29, Crystal Palace 37. Actually, well, you're 8 points from. Actually, yeah, you're fine. You should be fine. Palace should be fine.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say really, apart from Wilfred Zaha, former Man United player. He's been great.
Doing quite well.
He's been your #1 player for God knows how many years now. You've got that number 7 guy. What's his name? That guy who can take good free kicks. Not Ward-Prowse, Southampton. Cisse or something. I don't know what his fucking name is, but he's good at free kicks. You got Ayew. Let me just check actually who you actually have, because I've got no fucking clue. You got players. Also, you got Wilfred Zaha. You got Guehi. You've got Klein. You've got Olsey, Michael Olsey or something. Az.
Is it Olsen?
Olsen or something. I don't fucking know, something like that. Wilfred Zaha.
No, it's fine. I was asking if it was.
Wilfred Zaha, Jordan Ayew, Edward, who's your new striker this year.
Jordan Ayew, pass number 9. No.
Jeffrey Schlupp, again he's been good. Will Hughes, again he's old now, but he's still he's got at least 2 more years in him. James McCarthy, you do have some very good players in that squad. So next season, push the top. Don't go for Europe, 'cause I don't think you will. Again, I'll tell you why, because the Premier League is changing next year. They are changing the rules next year. The Premier League. Well, not just the Premier League, but the Bundesliga, the La Liga. Every big league's getting pretty much flipped. I'll tell you why. Money.
It's the goalkeeper rules, isn't it?
Nope.
For a starter.
All cause of Europe. And I'll tell you why. After this. But I'll tell you now. Pretty much, for the Premier League anyway, the top 5 next year, after the end of next year, well, beginning of this year, the beginning of next season, there'll be 5 teams going into the Champions League next year. 5 teams. So the top 5 will be in the Champions League. 6th and 7th will be the Europa League, and 8th will be the Conference League. So the top 8 will have a chance of Europe. For me, it's fucking stupid. I don't agree with it at all, because when I started watching football, it was only the top 3. And now, well, back in the 90s, it was only the top 2. and way before that, whoever won the Premier League went into the Champions League, whoever won the FA Cup went to the Europa League, and whoever won the Carabao Cup goes to the Conference League. But that doesn't seem to work anymore.
I
So
thought the Conference League were a new thing, you know.
it is, but back in the 90s it was a thing.
Oh,
Then it
So
went
it
away.
was a thing, then it went, and then it
And now
came back.
yeah, it's come back again. It was the Cup Winners' Cup at the time.
The Cup Winners' Cup, I like that.
Yeah, so do you agree with this top 8 system of Europe?
I like.
That's what I'm saying, well, this year, Brighton, Brentford and Fulham, maybe Palace, and maybe if you do have a good year next year, possibly you, but you need a lot of work if you want to get into Europe.
Mhm.
You need a lot of work, and I'll explain again why in a minute, because we are coming up to Leeds in a minute. 3 teams away now from Leeds. Next up is a team all the way down to Wolverhampton. Wolves.
They're just.
I mean, let's get one thing straight. You haven't been great. You've not been great for the last 2 years.
The thing about Wolves is you don't even remember they exist
No,
until
you
you're
don't.
playing against them.
No, you don't. It's one of them teams that is Wolves.
They're just there.
Yeah, Wolves are like a sneak team. They're gonna pounce from you from behind. You're looking in front and you're about to play them, and then Wolves just bam, they just go and get it and attack you. Because we all know
Kind of like
about
West Ham, you barely think about them.
yeah, obviously we all know about that big bulky lad, Traore. He has got pace. Adama Traore. He's got pace. He's bloody bulky as hell. He's like a rugby player. I don't think he should be playing football. He's more of a rugby player to me. And you've got what's his name? Jimenez. Up front.
You see, I rate Jimenez.
Jimenez has been there for quite some time.
He's been a flop this year, but in
yes.
the past he's been a really big problem for defenders.
Well, if you remember 2 years ago, he did suffer from a bit of a head injury with Arsenal against Arsenal. So he was out for that season, pretty bad actually. Got knocked out, the poor little guy. He's not little, he's bloody tall as shit. On the left you've got Pondence, you've got Ruben Neves, Neto, Sarr in goal, Semedo. You pretty much have your team's Portuguese, but a very good Portuguese young team that can lead, that can replace the likes of Ronaldo, Fernandes, Felix, whatever the hell you want to bloody call him.
Felix.
And all that. Next up, so Wolves again. I know you can push for Europe. You have the first 2 years you were in the Premier League, 19 and 20. You were in Europe, so there's no reason why you're this low. But you should be fine in the Premier League. Bournemouth next. AFC Bournemouth again, one of the newly promoted teams. You came up second. I don't. Actually, for Bournemouth, I think this has been a very good season for you. You've been very good, for my personal opinion. You should be fine because they said that the average point system to be safe this year is 35. You're on 36, so with that win yesterday against Southampton, you should be fine. You should be in the Premier League next year. So you're not getting relegated, so you're fine. You are now safe. Should be safe. If everything goes according to plan for you, you should be fine. I've got nothing to say apart from Bournemouth. You got some good players. We all know. Well, AJ won't know, but if I'd be surprised if he knows of this player. Neto in goal.
Neto, yeah.
Jesus. You got Neto, Gary O'Neill. You're the manager. You got Neto. You got Fredericks. You got Smith.
Which team we're talking about?
Bournemouth. Fredericks. You've got Cook. You've got Billing.
I know Billing.
You've got Moore, who's recently come back from cancer. He beat cancer.
Moore, isn't he the Australian guy?
No, he's Welsh.
I'm thinking about a different Moore then.
Very different Moore. Kiefer Moore recently had, the season you got promoted, I think it was the season 1 or 2 years ago. He got diagnosed with cancer.
Fucking bitch.
Sorry, Moore. He's not calling you a bitch. He's just playing a game right now. More recently, more Kiefer Moore.
Blackpool are relegated, by the way.
Good.
They've just lost 3-2 to Millwall.
Well, Millwall. Well, actually, yeah, Millwall now go up into the playoffs again now, as it stands now. Moore, like I said, 2 years ago was diagnosed with, I think it was bowel cancer. I think. And I think it was the end of last season or just beginning of this season. He was cancer free, so he beat cancer.
That's always good, isn't it?
Yes, he's beat that evil disease. I told about AJ about stop blowing his nose a lot. I don't mind him doing it, but actually that wasn't too bad actually, because actually that wasn't in my mic. That was actually in the mic, so that was actually pretty quiet.
Fucking dying over here.
And then we've got Dominic Solanke. I mean, he's been your main player this year. Dominic Solanke. So I think again maybe a bit higher next year will be good
really
for Bournemouth. Now next up, AJ likes to call this team a sandwich after the name because let's just be honest, it's well this is not the first team technically in the. We have now hit the relegation battle now. Still no Leeds. Well, you may be thinking, ooh, where are Leeds? Are they bottom? Are they 90th? Are they 18th? We've not. Where's
16th.
Leeds? Well, thanks for spoiling it.
You're welcome.
Twat. Well, the way Leeds are playing, they could finish 19th. But next up is West Ham. West Ham United. To be fair, even though you may think that they are in a, you would not know that they're in a relegation battle because they are in the Conference League semi-final. So if they win the Conference League and still go down, they'll be in the Europa League. But so West Ham, funny old year for you. For the last 2 years, you were inside the top 5, top 6, and now this year you've kind of gone back to your old ways again. I don't get it. Okay, you got Emerson in goal. No, sorry, not Emerson in goal. He's a defender. You got Fabianski in goal. You've got Emerson, Cresswell, Johnson, Zuma. Apart from what he did a few months ago with him apparently kicking cats.
Have you seen? I'll send you a photo of the bottle that I'm drinking from.
Ogbonna. You got Lanzini, Declan Rice, Declan Rice. He's been linked to coming to Manchester United or Chelsea, one of them two clubs, Man United or Chelsea. Probably Chelsea because Declan Rice is a Chelsea fan and he's best mates with Mason Mount, so he's probably going to go to Chelsea. You got Fornells, you got Soucek, you've got Sakamaka, somewhere he's Italian anyway.
Sakamaka.
I don't know. Danny Ings, Jarrett Bowen, Mikel Antonio. You know, so I don't understand why you're so low. Again, push. I know you can push for Europa League. So try for Europa League next year, and you'll be back where you should be. Now then. Oh, for God's sake, yeah. I forgot to go on to West Ham. There you go. There's your West Ham look. I'm sorry that. There, and the logo's gone. Right, so next up is the only Yorkshire club in the Premier League and struggling. Let's say the least after the 2020-2021 season. It's about time we mention this club. It's Leeds United.
Right,
Leeds.
something I can talk about. You went for about 10 minutes with Man United, so I'm going to try stick to a similar sort of routine.
If I have to correct
for my
you,
team.
if I have to correct you, you are embarrassing.
I know.
Right, so go on then. Go about Leeds. Go on.
Right. So we are struggling. There's no sort of way to argue it. We are definitely struggling. I mean, we're not. I wouldn't say riddled with injuries, but we've had problems throughout the season with different injuries. And especially the loss of Luis Sinisterra, that's been quite a painful one. I am very disappointed about the loss of Sinisterra. He's gone for the rest of the season, which is obviously a big gap in our lineup.
The big question is...
Bamford needs... He either needs to book his ideas right up, or he needs to get out that door.
Yep.
I don't know how long... excuse me. How much longer I can back him, because
I mean, the big question is now is
just
The big question
Go on.
is, can Leeds stay up?
Yeah, that is the big one.
1 point from relegation currently.
Mealy is having an off period, which is obviously concerning this time of the season.
Well, it's been rumoured that Millie wants to leave.
He's come out and said, in the event of us getting relegated, he is going to look to move away from England.
Because I don't get what's gone wrong with you, because you've got players that can actually challenge for top 10. I'm not saying for Europe, but you've got a challenge that can finish instead of top 10. You got Millier, you got Koch, you got Christensen, you've got Cooper, you got Firpo, you've got Volber, you've got Ayling.
I'm gonna butt in here.
Go on.
We are on the current level that we're playing at is the level of Cooper. He's maybe a little bit below Koch, because I think he's a little bit better. Ayling, he's past his prime. He's 30. He's 32, I think. He's getting on a bit. I mean, Ayling.
Ayling, he is currently... Yeah, he's
He's
31
in his
now.
30s, yeah.
He's 32 this year.
Yeah. So, it's like this is the age Pablo Hernandez left.
Yep.
You know, it's not made for the Premier League.
And obviously,
if we get relegated, Ayling, Cooper, they'll fit right in, like getting us promoted.
Even
like,
though,
I have no doubt that they'll help us get promotion
probably.
if we do get relegated.
I tell you now, right? Even though Leeds struggled with him last season, you are really missing Calvin Phillips.
Oh yeah.
Again,
I miss that man a lot.
Again, like I said, I said when we come to Leeds, we'll come back to Calvin.
I still respect him. I respect his decision to obviously try and move on to a better team, but what's the point of moving to a better team if you're just not going to play?
I mean, yes, to be honest.
You noticed a significant drop in his performance with England because he's not getting any game time. I genuinely think if he was still playing for us this Euros, he'd have played better.
To be fair,
it's about keeping fit as well.
Do I reckon Calvin Phillips will return to Leeds? Possibly yes, but probably not for a long time.
Not yet. Yeah, there's going to be a long time before any of that happens. But
I mean, obviously, you struggled with him last year. But
not as much as we're struggling this year.
Not as much as this year. Because if we're looking at this,
frustrates me because we've got players like Sinistera.
I mean, if you look in this midfielder now, in this midfield, you are struggling.
I absolutely love Sinistera as well.
In this midfield you are struggling because you've got Charlie Allen, who I've never heard of. You've got Adam Forshaw.
As you can imagine, we're going to struggle with the loss of Sinistera.
No, because like I said, without Phillips now at the club, your midfield is shocking. You've got Forshaw. You've got Harrison, he's good. You've got McKennie, but he's only on loan. He won't be coming back if you go down. You've got Archie. You've got Archie Gray. You've got Rocker. You've got Adams, who probably won't be there next year if you go down. You've got Somerville, who probably will be there, and then you've got.
I think Crescencio Somerville will stay.
And then you've got Aronson, who again I don't think will be there next year if you go down.
I'm a bit disappointed about the drop of Somerville. What I mean by that is
since you scored against
the way he started the season.
Yeah, because after he scored against Liverpool when you beat him 2-1, I've not seen him.
No, that's what I'm saying. We have not. We've basically. He's just. I don't.
And then you cut to and then your attackers, I'm sorry, but with these amount of attackers here, you should be in, I'm not saying top 10, but you should be either 12th or 11th. You've got Sinistera, you've got Gonter, you've got Bamford, you've got Rutter, you've got Rodrigo, you've got Greenwood. That's 6 players there.
And you know exactly how I feel on Gracia and Nonto. He's not playing him enough.
I don't understand why, it was...
I don't understand the problem with him.
You've got Rutter, record-breaking transfer fee, 34 million quid, which is the most Leeds United have ever spent on a player in their history. since
And he hasn't scored because no one plays him.
Yeah, since Leeds United got founded back
If
in
I'm going to
19...
make a purchase like that on a player, give him game time.
Yep.
Like, we're complaining about Bamford, we're complaining about Rodrigo and Rutter being... and Rodrigo and Nonto being below average.
I mean,
But then we've got this,
just
we've got this
ridiculous.
new talent, this like, potential for, like, a really, really good midfielder.
Rutter this year, he's turning 22 this year, so he's still really young.
Exactly. Play him.
I don't get, yeah, like I said, when Leeds United got founded back in 1919, Leeds United's record transfer fee back in them days, I think the highest record was 28 million. I don't know who it was on, but it was then. Leeds United, like I said, Leeds United have never spent more than what they spent, which was 34 million quid. That is the most money they've ever spent on a player since they got founded back in 1919, and he hasn't played a game.
I can't believe we spent so much on a bench warmer.
Obviously, Hoffman and I will be thinking, thank you very much, that's £34 million in my pocket. But it's... I mean, that attacker, them attacks, like I said, I've just named 6 good players. Maybe, well, Bamford, it'd be good if he could... It'll be good if he did what he did 2 years ago in your first year. I think he scored 15 goals in the Premier League in your first year. Apart from Bamford, you've got Sinistera, Rutter, Gonto, Greenwood, and Rodrigo. That's 5. You should be doing better than this, I reckon. But you know, you've gone for Jesse Marsh, you've now got Garcia, and you've got, who have you got coming up? You've got Bournemouth on this Sunday. If you don't win that, if you draw, I'm not saying it. If you draw, I'm not saying it's game.
It's as simple as that.
If you draw, I'm not saying it's game over, but you'll be one foot out of the Premier League. If you lose, then yeah, it's game over.
Because I support the team, I can say this: lose to Bournemouth, that's it. I'm sorry, but that's it. Season done.
If you look at this,
we lose to Bournemouth, we're going down. There's no if buts or maybes.
After Bournemouth,
I don't do if buts or maybes. I do absolutes.
If they do lose to Bournemouth, not only that's game over, but then they've got Man City, Newcastle, West Ham, and Spurs.
Exactly my point.
This is their last chance. If they don't
exactly my point.
If they don't win, that's it. They're gone. Because I can't see him beating City, can't see him beating Newcastle. I can only see him getting a point out of West Ham and Spurs.
Oh,
I'm
a prayer of beating City. We might pick up a singular point against Spurs if we're lucky.
You pick up a point against West Ham probably.
Yeah. So I'm saying, if we get 4 points from us last 5 games, that's the sort of. Best, I hate to say it, but that's best case scenario.
You need to hope that Forest, Leicester, and Everton struggle.
Yeah.
Southampton
are gone. There's no doubt about it. They're gone.
Yeah, Southampton are now gone. They're now 6 points from safety with 6 games to go. So they're pretty much gone. I think if Southampton lose the next game, and Everton unless they get a point or win with Forest and they're gone.
Yeah. You see, I think they're already gone. I'm not going to pass judgment yet.
I think they're already gone.
Because I'm not going to...
So, with Leeds, if you do stay up this year, and you go into the summer, you need a good clear out and bringing a lot of good fresh players in.
Yeah. And by clear out, I mean Dallas, potentially Ayling.
Possibly Bamford.
I don't want to get rid of him. Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. Dallas
is one of the big ones. Dallas.
I say Bamford. He hasn't been good.
From the way he's been playing, I'm inclined to agree. I wouldn't normally agree on that because, I grew up.
Bring back Daniel James.
Playing. Dan James needs to come back. I'd personally look at I'd look at maybe Helder Costa
Mm.
somewhere.
In that first year, he was very good. In your first year, because
Yeah.
you signed him.
We need some support in that midfield because obviously Mateusz Klitsch is obviously got older and left.
Well, yeah, Klitsch has now gone to America.
Yeah. By the way, the best midfielder in America currently, by statistically that is.
Just keep talking about Leeds.
Um,
We need to go to the toilet a minute. Just keep talking about Leeds.
I just there's a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of sort of kinks that need to be ironed out, preferably at the end of this season, before the start of next. If we don't get at least like 3 points, sorry, from this transfer window, from the end of this season, I'll be concerned. If we don't pick up 4 or 5 points, we're in huge trouble for the end of this season. And it's as simple as, if we become in trouble for the end of the season, there's a very, very, very high chance we won't be reaching our promotion, staying out of relegation. Sorry, something like. I'm just not convinced that we have the strength in the team to stay up. Obviously, I'd love to hope so, and I will hope so. Obviously, I'll keep supporting them, but I am concerned. I am very concerned at the moment about the competence of the current squad, which is, you know, a shame, because obviously they're my team. I love them.
Okay.
I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if we have the manpower to get over the line.
I mean,
Although, to be fair, it's not as much of getting over the line as it is making sure that the other teams around us keep the bar low enough so that we can still get over that.
I mean, to be honest, I do want to see Leeds stay
There is
up,
no
because
other argument.
the only reason why I want to see Leeds staying up is because we could potentially see a Yorkshire derby next year, with Sheffield United getting promoted.
With Sheffield United, yeah.
So we could see we could see two Yorkshire
Obviously,
teams.
I do want to see us get stay up. I keep saying promoted, but at the same time,
But yeah, you don't get any more promotions in this fucking football league. Once you're
but
in the Premier-
at the same time,
What else do you want? You don't get promoted now, and then you don't get promoted anymore.
at the same time, like, if we did get relegated, big if, we would just run through the entirety of the championship.
You up?
Like, there's no doubt about that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Championship could be a
that
very
if we
funny.
if we got relegated, we would do what Burnley have done.
I won't say what you've done with Burnley. I say you get playoffs. Probably like third or fourth, but
No, I think we get autos this year, 100%.
Next year.
If we got relegated, we're going back into automatic promotion. I'm sorry, we just are.
Well, if you think that, then fair enough. But I don't think that will happen. But you got
Is
6
there a
games.
reason you don't think that?
So you got five games? Yeah, 5 games to go. Well, come on. I mean, let's be honest, you've just named it. You know, if you get relegated, half your players will be gone. You know, Melia will go. You know, Sinistera will probably go. Bamford will probably stay. Well, no, actually, no, Bamford will probably go, because then at least Russell has some chance to play. Somerville will stay. Ayling will probably stay. Koch will probably go. Vobel will go. Aronson will go. McKennie will go. Adams will go.
Yeah, Aronson will go. Yeah.
You won't have.
McKennie just won't stay.
You won't have players to get your automatic. You probably have players to get into the playoffs, but I don't think you'll have players to get into the
I
promotion
just don't know
places.
I just don't know if we have the manpower to stay up.
You see, because
That's
right
my
now,
concern.
Leeds, this is the tightest relegation battle we've ever had because, forget Southampton, but from Everton to West Ham, there is 7 points in it.
Yeah. Not a
So
lot at all.
from Everton to West Ham, there's 7 points in there. Also, Everton, Leicester, Forest, Leeds, and West Ham. 5 will go down with Southampton. Um, it's probably going to be Everton and probably Forest. I say probably Everton and Forest.
No, I can agree.
Leeds will stay up, but Leeds you need to clear out. And if you do stay up, get fucking players in.
Yeah, we need to. I know we do.
So that's the end of the Leeds. Um, I'm just say Leeds, just sort yourselves out. And you've got attackers that can actually get up there. You're just not doing it. Right.
I know.
Next up is again newly promoted. Well, I'm not saying newly promoted anymore because they could be going back down. They won the playoffs. They beat Huddersfield in the playoff final. I still think Huddersfield Town should have won that game, but
I agree.
you can't judge. Well, you can judge the ref, but you can get your opinions. But again, the referee is just a ref, really. I mean, AJ hates Anthony Taylor. He's hated him since that first that first Leeds game against Liverpool back in 2020. But I mean, I hate who's who? Andrew Mariner. Fucking hate him. But anyway, Nottingham Forest. Last season, obviously by Christmas you were bottom of the Championship. Steve Cooper came in. You finished third in the Championship and you get promoted. That's quite impressive. What hasn't been impressive this year is your form in the Premier League. You have conceded the most goals in the Premier League. You've conceded 60 goals, giving you a minus total of minus 31, which is the most that any team. You've pretty much done worse than Southampton for goals, which is quite embarrassing. But you did have that long run. I think it was February or March. You went 6 games unbeaten, and you were like 12th or 13th, and then you lost your last 7 or 8 games, including Leeds, including that crucial game against Leeds. You lost, and
1 minute.
you lost. And he's knocking. He has to go for a minute, and you lost to Manchester United. That wasn't it. That wasn't unexpected, wasn't it? But again, you've got players. You've got players. You're just not showing it. You know, you've won 7, drawn 9, lost 17. It's just not good enough. You know, you got Henderson, you got Navas, you got Cook, you got Felipe, you've got Williams, you've got Nakata, you got Richards, you got Toffler, you got Bowley, you got Danlio, Shelby, Gibbs White, Yates, Lingard, Cafu, Surridge, Wood, Ayew, and Johnson. It's just not good enough if you're a Forest fan. If you do stay up, which I can't, I'm sorry, but I can't see it. But if you do stay up, do what Leeds do. Sort out, have a full clear out and go again. Because Forest is a team that's got history. You know, them 2 stars there on your badge. You won the Champions League back to back. Nobody's ever done that. Well, actually, Real Madrid, but you were, but you were the first.
That's Real Madrid, though. That's,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, you were the first. Oh, you're back. The first English team to What?
I said, yeah, probably not for long.
Why was it Kelvin, sir?
You know exactly what's just been said.
5 minutes, you're off or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, right. So perfect timing. So yeah, right now I've got to speed things up a little bit now. So Forest, just like Leeds, sort out your players for the summer if you do stay up. I can't see you can't. I don't think you'll stay up, unfortunately. But it's football, and that's what the Premier League does to you. Dreams will be crushed. But
That's how it works, isn't it?
that's how it works in the Premier League. Premier League, one of the greatest leagues, if not the greatest league in the world. But there you go. Now next up is one of the surprising teams. This team won the 2016 Premier League title in what has to be only described as the most weirdest season that the Premier League's ever had. This team, in their first season, almost got relegated. 1 year later, they win the league. That's Leicester. Leicester
Let's
City.
talk about them.
I mean, AJ doesn't want to talk about it after.
joking,
Well,
I'm
if you didn't see,
joking,
if you didn't see what's
We
happened
embarrassed
recently,
ourselves. Well,
yeah,
Bamford
pretty,
embarrassed himself.
Bamford embarrassed himself. Yeah, Leicester got that point against Leeds at Ellen Road in what was pretty much whoever wins that should be safe. But
Right, in my personal
surprisingly,
opinion, Bamford's not worked hard enough this season. I know we're obviously a little bit off topic, but
Leicester.
disappointing, to say
Yes,
the least.
you're very
this season.
disappointing. I mean, when you defended your Premier League title the following year, 2016-2017, you finished 12th. 17-18, I think you finished 10th. 18-19, you finished 8th. 19-20, you finished 5th.
Just kept going up.
2020, 2021, you finished 5th. 2022, you finished 6th. And now you've just plummeted. To 18th.
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
I think that's the word their fans would use as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Plummeted.
I think you're fine. I think you do. I think you will replace Forest. But again, you've got players. We all know about. You've got James Maddison. You've got Dewsbury Hall.
Jamie Vardy.
You've got Jamie Vardy.
That's a big one.
If you do go down, Vardy will be gone. 100% he'll be gone. Yeah, you've got Maddison. You've got Vardy. You've got Dewsbury Hall.
I mean, personally, I think Vardy's going to go anyway.
You've got Dennis Pratt. You've got Harvey Barnes. You've got Ndidi. You've got Tillemans. You've got. I mean, I don't know what's gone wrong with you this year. I do think you'll stay up, but to replace Forest. But again, I've got nothing to say apart from buckle your ideas and go again next year, really. Next up is, again, a team that's never been relegated from the Premier League, but this could be their first time ever in their history. That's Everton. I do think you're gone. You lost 4-1 yesterday to Newcastle. On your next game is Leicester. Well, that's going to be deciding, isn't it? You've got Leicester coming up, who is obviously just above you. If you lose that and Leicester win, you're gone. I reckon, because your next game after Leicester is you got Brighton, who's on form. Man City could potentially win the league. Wolves, they're on form again. And Bournemouth, well, they've got nothing to lose. So if you do not win against Leicester, you're gone.
Sounds about right.
Again, I don't get why you're struggling. You've got Pickford, you've got Keane, Holgate, you've got Godfrey, Cody, Tywoski, Townsend, Davis, Garner, Mapey, McNeil.
Oh, Morpé.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin, and Alex Iwobi and Damari Gray. I don't get why you're struggling. I do. Again, if you do not win against Leicester on Monday, you're gone. End of, really. This will be your last chance. Just like Leeds and Bournemouth. Everton, if you don't beat Leicester, you're gone. And then, unfortunately, the last team, we all know that they're going down now. Well, it's not been confirmed. Mathematically, they can still stay up, but come on, they're going down. And that's Southampton. You have had a season to forget, to say the least. I don't know where to start. I mean, everything has just gone wrong. You've got Willie Caballero in goal. You've got James McCarthy. You've got Benderek, Walker Peters, Ward-Prowse, Maitland-Niles, Armstrong, Stuart Armstrong, Adam Armstrong, Theo Walcott, Shea Adams. So you got like 6-7 good players.
Exactly.
Oh, and we got some breaking news. Oh, I said I'll come over this. about Manchester United bid.
I've already read it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the third bid has come to an end. The deadline's close for the third round of bids, and not surprisingly, not Saudi Arabia, Qatar have put in a world record bid.
5 billion, something like that.
Yeah, the Glazers got Manchester United, I think, for 2 billion. I think the Glazers did back in 2004. The Qatar owners, Shaq and Yazdim, has submitted a world record bid for Man United worth over £5 billion. Now we just got to wait for the Glazers if they're going to accept it or not. If they accept it, we've got new owners. If they don't accept it, it looks like the Glazers are going to stay for at least one more year, which all Man United fans don't want.
You really think they're not going to say yes to like?
Well, the
billion, 5 billion?
Glazers want 6 billion. That's the thing. They want 6.
5 billion's close enough, you greedy twats. Just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
no,
just
you're saying take it and go away because you don't like them.
Take them, sod off, go back to America and piss off. But
They're American.
yeah, they're American.
I thought they couldn't get worse.
So yeah, anyway, back onto Southampton. You're gone. Even like I said, it's not mathematically you're down, but let's be honest, you're down. You've only won 6 games this year. You've drawn 6 and you've lost 21. You've got Newcastle next, who again on form. Forest, that'll probably end as a draw. Fulham, they're on form. Brighton, they're on form, and Liverpool, they're on form. So you're gone. Your last 5 games don't get any easier at all. So what I personally think is next season in the Championship, sort your players out, sort your staff out, sort everything out, and you never know, you might get automatically pushed back up to the Premier League. I want to see you back in the Premier League. It's unfortunate that we're saying goodbye to you after what 10 years in the Premier League. So it's sad to see it's sad to see teams get relegated. You don't want to see it, but it's football, and at this point we're saying goodbye to Southampton, Everton, and Leicester. Possibly Forest, Leeds, and West Ham to go with it. So to go down with Southampton, it is between Everton, Leicester, Forest, Leeds, and West Ham. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to hear other football news, I mean, Burnley and Sheffield United, they've been promoted to the Premier League. Burnley are going up as champions. Wigan are down. Wigan are down, Blackpool are down. And that's between Reading, Huddersfield, Rotherham, QPR, and Cardiff to go down with them. In the playoff, it's between Luton. In the playoffs, Luton and Middlesbrough have secured their spots in the playoffs, and then it's between Millwall, Coventry, Sunderland, Blackburn, West Brom, Preston, Norwich, and Swansea. League One, it's between Plymouth, Ipswich, and Sheffield Wednesday to go up as champions. In the playoff, it's between Sheffield Wednesday, they've already secured their spot. Barnsley, Bolton, Derby, and Peterborough. And to go down, Forest Green are down. Cambridge are pretty much down. Accrington are not down yet. They're 2 points from safety, so they're not down yet. So to go down with Forest Green and Cambridge is between Accrington, Morecambe, MK Dons, Oxford, and Oxford United. Yeah. In League 2, Leighton Orient are going up as champions. Northampton and Stevenage looks like to be joining them.
Yeah.
And then in the playoff, it's between. Pardon?
So I've got to be quiet now.
All right. In the
Just so I
playoffs.
can at least finish my game.
Okay. In the playoffs, it's between Stockport, Kyle, Salford, Bradford, and Mansfield. Only Mansfield can stop Bradford now from chasing the League One dreams for the first time since 2015. But But Bradford City,
Premier League team, by the way.
but Bradford City do play second place Northampton Town. So that might be a difficult game for them. As for Mansfield, they've got Harrogate Town. So this could be the game that sends Mansfield up to the playoffs, and Bradford to go down into 8th. And to go down, Rochdale are gone, and Hartlepool are pretty much gone. Yeah, Hartlepool are gone. 6 points in it, 2 games to go. They need to win their last 2 games, and Crawley to lose their last 2 games, which pretty much probably won't happen. So Hartlepool and Rochdale are going down to join the National League, and then in the National League, Wrexham are going up as champions. Thanks to Ryan Reynolds' takeover, you could say. That's boosted them. Can't believe this. Wrexham, bloody Wrexham, right? Why would Ryan Reynolds, the Hollywood star, be the new owner of Wrexham? Don't get it, but anyway, whatever.
I don't know.
So, and then Wrexham are going up, and then in the playoffs to go up with Wrexham into League 2, it's between Notts County and Chesterfield. And going down to the other league, which I'm not going through all the football leagues because that's just going to take forever. Then going down into the other National League is Maidstone United, Scunthorpe United, and Yeovil Town. So that's your lot. I mean, yeah, because the National League comes to an end.
Alright, see you, mate.
Yeah, see ya. I'll wrap this up quickly. The National League. I think National League's actually done. The National League's done. So it'll be between Notts County and Chesterfield to go up in the playoffs. So that's that. Somewhat different, somewhat interesting, I reckon. Thanks for tuning in, and probably back to gaming tomorrow.